to really to get yourself out there and connect with the community as much as possible. And like I think a lot of times, like for stuff at Art Rage, that's what we're really looking for ways that it can connect with the community, and not just be this kind of like oh, I'm just sitting in my room thinking about myself, like kind of thing. So I feel like how can art like impact other people? How can it change other people's lives? How can it not just be about you? So figuring out ways to do that, I think it makes more relevant to the world.
Right.
I think it's just sort of follow your interests and then try and figure out the best way to interpret those ideas and translate them into the work somehow, and you know, be aware of what's going on out there in the world as much as you possibly can, but don't like get too freaked out by that either.
Do it yourself. That's one big piece of advice, which is like, you know, when you get out of school, I think it's important to be really scrappy. It's like really important. And I was not, it's not like that was necessarily in my nature. I'm like, I'm gonna go to studio and hide, you know. But to be scrappy about like meeting other artists, putting on shows, you know, it depends on if you're a fine artist or not. I mean, if you're a designer, there's a different kind of scrappiness that's necessary. Like really getting out there, not necessarily in a kind of cheesy entrepreneurial way, like, hi, I'm so-and-so and this is my work, and like being really desperate about it. No, but being like willing to start conversations and to reach out to the galleries or cultural, you know, programs that are in your area and to be a part of something and to, you know, and I think one of my main pieces of advice is to find a community. At school, that community is like given to you, and it's an artificial community, you know? It's like a subset of the people that could go to that school for whatever reason, financially or otherwise. That, I mean, and I teach at a school that is troublingly expensive, and so this is a large part of like what I think about, and at RISD we really think about this a lot, you know, and it's troubling, but we're wrestling with it.
Right.
But when you're out of school, you choose your community, you know, and of course some of them will be your friends from school and stuff, but then like you'll meet people from other places, people maybe didn't go to school, but who are artists, you know. So to find your community, I think is like the biggest thing, because and maybe this just speaks to my own like sensibility. It's like I couldn't do it alone. You know what I mean? Like do it yourself, but not by yourself. You know what I mean? Like do it. You know, find other people who are like, you know, willing to scrap along with you and talk to them and give them critiques and do and have conversations and have shows. You know.
Yeah, I think it's really one of the things I tried to really focus on while I was here as a student, and it was so great that I had the resources that I had, is like challenge your professors as much as you can. Like they're just as passionate about art as much as you are, and you know, really ask them as much questions. Like, I mean, when I was here, I asked Ted and Philia and Nick constantly, like, what is Art Forum? What are these artists doing? What are galleries? How does a gallery work? Like, how does a museum work? And they really motivated me to read as much as possible and see shows online if you don't have a chance to go to New York or go to a place where a city where there are a lot of galleries. So I found that a lot of my curiosity piqued by paying close attention to the contemporary art world and you know, constantly looking at, and nowadays like looking at blogs, like seeing what artists are doing, and just constantly being aware of movements happening in the art world.
Activist art has been a key element throughout the history of global social protest. Social and political movements produce such works as signs, banners, posters, and other printed materials to be used to convey a particular cause or message. Such art also includes performance, site-specific installation, graffiti, and street art.
Just art made in a digital age.
Digital art has been around since the 1950s in a sense, but not many museums and galleries have really been focusing on it as a serious subject matter. But I think in the last 10 years that's really changed, and many venues around the world are really having a serious look at this area and the artists who are working in it.
Art can change your life. It can expand your parameters. It can give this vastness.